Out from prison we go, up towards water treatment, Torre, Ahumada. Plenty of space for teams to not get tangled up in hot drops, but they're doing it anyway, it seems. Two separate instances by the looks of it. One in Picado, one towards Monte Nuevo. It seems like we are being a little silly at this point. Maybe some of the teams feel like it's a little too far gone, possibly. But we did see a little bit of this yesterday. Titan Foxy were one of the few teams that were getting aggressive in the very early stages of games. PNF, they were not shying away from the drops regardless either. Fragile in a pretty rough position. CCAC happy to take this fight in the early phases. GG bet. Not the ideal weaponry up close. Naked SKS. With only 6 bullets left, and there's way too many targets for 6 bullets to be ideal. Child is revivable. They will be able to grab him. Tommy gun for GG bet, getting some damage done, but oh no, Pancake gets sat down before the revive can actually come through. They really did not seem aware of the threat that lurked in the doorway. Just dodges out of time. Just in time. Full body hold on the hallway angle is a bit sketchy for the man with 10 hit points. Now that gas can in the doorway, I'm not giving you any ideas, Fragile, but I'm just saying. Could use that to your advantage. There's the zone. Going just towards the northern side of Minas Generalis. We'll come back to that. Tommy gun. Pretty OP. Merchant's found more bullets. It's doing him a solid. Good service. And GG bet will finish the job. Hops on out. Tommy gun in hand. Hip fire spray, 300 damage, 3 kills on the board for Fragile. CCAC Gaming cleaned up. It has custom Pancake, but that is a big set of frags to pick up for Fragile. Let's bear in mind, CCAC Gaming coming into this 11th place, and Fragile all the way down in 16th. So every single one of those points, much required. I mean, it's still only 30 points away from the top 3. They could close a 30-point gap with back-to-back wins. That could be closed in 2 games. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but it's certainly gonna come off in their favor if they can continue winning fights like that. Looks as though the Picado hot drop has gone the way of most Picado hot drops and become a bit of a stalemate, with no one really wanting to commit to pushing across the road. TinDD has crept over. A little stutter step walking to minimize footsteps. You can hear the footsteps of Neath Kyrie. Not Keith, Neath. On the inside now. Playing for audio cues, it seems. TinDD, careful not to give any away. Apart from that one, apparently. You definitely know now. Cyboss should spot TinDD out on the roof. 4x in hand with the SKS. Comes off worse for wear in the trade, but there's actually 2 of PUBG and friends here to hold the angle. Fortunate position for the water tower legs. Oh, good tag just as he disappears over the rooftop onto the lower area. He can drop down, could be revivable. This becomes now an issue for Neath. Quick glance elsewhere in the zone. Anything interesting happening? Looks like Super Dean of Red Sea Gaming is setting up a little bit of a camp. But an entirely separate 1v1 between Cyboss and I-179. Drawn the attention of Kitty as well, which does leave slight opening for Titan Foxy to make a move and grab the revive onto TNDD. So it is back to a 4 versus 4. Penny and Neath not overcommitting to the push. It is very annoying that this fence doesn't have a gap in it until this point. It means you have to overextend yourself wide away from all the cover before you can really consider making a push. Zero holding the close range angle on the door in case the push does come through. Opens the doorway, doesn't spot out the player behind the fence, but this is why it's annoying. Oh, but it's okay. It's got a gap. You can shoot through it. He dances back. He's very fortunate to get in that doorway in time. TNDD maybe overcommits to the peak. He can spot out Neath through the gaps in the fence. That is cheeky. He hears the footsteps of Zero to get 2. Pressure coming in. He's gonna get baited into throwing the smoke. And that will be his downfall. Kitty just trying to spam into whatever angle possible to prevent the flushes from coming through, but it won't be enough. Cyboss and Kitty coming out the worst for wear. Not 100% sure whether Fragile sniffed out what was happening with the Red Sea setting up a bit of the camp, but they've managed to evade it entirely, although it does look like maybe Red Sea is taking a wide rotation route. Like, the highway into San Martin is entirely free. They should know that, but it does look like they're moving to try and cut off Fragile as they make a move all the way wide around towards La Cabrera. Vortex opted once again. They've gone a little early with the emergency parachute, so they're not going to get the information on where phase 2 is headed before they're forced to hop out and make their move. A little fortunate to end up in the middle of a 2-2 split of the Jack boys. Hey, these shots might just about have spotted head on point. It's kind of out in the open, but it doesn't actually look like it. This is an unsafe landing spot. Okay, kind of semi-bailed out for Logbeat. And he immediately switches over to the DMR, so the call should have come through that there is someone there. And if not, it sure has now. If they start lining up the rotation of Boxed in the background. One point. Okay, he spotted out Logbeat himself as well. Some good tags. Oh my goodness. Full deletion. Thought that bar was going to cause issues, but just in the couple of milliseconds before he disappeared around the side, but a little over-aggressive. Gonna peek from an unsafe spot. Din might be the one to try and find an off angle, but he's being covered from the hilltop. Doesn't quite catch sight of O-Kicks up top yet. Seems like Fragile more or less successful in evading the potential camp from Red Sea, but they're still wrapping. They're still going far around. How and Joff. We do like a little bit of this high ground play. This rock you can get on top of without needing a vehicle. You can simply climb up. That's exactly what Joff has done. Got a very tight angle on towards O-Kicks, but it's an angle that gets him some damage. Onyx, Zuka, and Popcorn heading in from across the road, providing the backup for the rest of the Jack boys. It's causing a lot of problems. Jinhart, at the very least, trades back and should be able to grab this revive. O-Kicks has to smoke up because the threat of the third-party angles is just a little too strong. Popcorn being carried away to a safe spot for the revive, but is it really safe when Boxed is in the lobby? No. No is the answer. Crazy 9. From some distance. Not only gets one, gets delivered a second for free too. How many times do we have to say the rich get richer? Now Sevi makes the push in as well. Engding gets caught out outside. No cover. I mean, the tree was there, but it's not enough. Head on point. Holding the angle, but not well enough. Oh my god, Sevi just bins him. Confident. Pushing with the rest of the squad, not in a position to actually help out. Very, very confident stuff. There we go. This fight is not done yet. Tindidi only loss on the side of Titan Foxy. Silas's grenade won't quite reach. Mr. Wolves is probably wishing he could get across the road and put that DBS to use, as well as this pump action. It's a tough road to try and make across. That might make it easier. The off-angle of Kitty has been cleaned up, and they don't even need the shotguns. The sprays from range with the ARs is enough. PUBG and friends binned. I-79 cleaned up Kitty on the offside. And now Extraordinaire. Okay, okay, buddy. What you doing? Icky guy punished for taking a split. Imagine my surprise when that happens in this lobby. Breakwater claiming hold of the compound, which once again, like, we had a very similar zone to this in yesterday's. The compound of Breakwater and the compound of Morning Coffees ended up being extremely impactful when it came to those matches. I forgot to run the 3-minute ads in the break, didn't I? So, unfortunate if you get the pre-roll ads. I'll have to remember to do that after this game. Of course, it's probably like a 10-minute break in between games, so feel free to go to the toilet, get a snack, whatever. Do your thing. Ignore the ads. It's just to turn off the pre-rolls. I promise. Dusky. Pinned from distance. In fact. But Jeff is there. Should get a hand to it. Should grab the revive. A little bit more OCE versus OCE violence to come, it seems. Tragics, who has the line of sight on towards the Charm Farmers. There's so many airdrops in this area. What in the world? And that is a horrendous zone shift. This for a phase 3 is very interesting. Okay. So we have a little bit of unplayable to the southwest. We can't possibly go anywhere near the southwest. I'm not 100% sure if there's enough to this northwest either, so this kind of has to go really towards either 10x or towards the dip to the western side of the warehouses. None of those are attractive options. But it's pretty good once again for the Charm Farmers, who already have a decent stronghold in that position. Dusky still playing this balcony despite the fact that Red Sea is still in the same position, putting pressure on and threatening. Will he hop across to the roof? He will, the mad lad. To get in range to line up a grenade. This time Aoki picks a different target. It's Breakwater Gaming out to the northern side. The first grenade was good. Second one, what? How did it bounce off of that? That is awkward. Oh, good headshot from Sadgul, but it does not matter. There's no aim punch in this game. Don't know how many times that has almost made me tilt off the face of the earth. Sadgul on the receiving end of a very unfortunate game mechanic. Okay, that's another username that I won't bother with, but Yarabara Badengi goes down to him, and if Yarabara Badengi is the easier of the names in an engagement, you know something's gone severely, severely wrong. Breakwater getting farmed once again. Fragile have made the widest wrap of 2023 so far. They came in from Monte Nuevo all the way around the north. They ended up on the northeastern side of the zone, complete opposite to where they dropped. And they've got 2 free kills onto Breakwater. They were so busy worrying about Red Sea. That eastern side, they had no idea. That is a banger set of shots. Apik and Aoki combine. Sit down, Wuguk, as he hops into the window. Jeff cops a headshot as well. Not out of the woods yet. Did he just close the door on himself? That was treacherous. There was a traitor in your midst. Oh, this off angle from Tragics, giving all the info over. As Juicex has been pulled upon. Crazy 9. Long range tag. The first bullet's a headshot. Juice has to blow the door up to even get an angle. Can't get enough of one though. Nottingham hops out of the... Huh? He just hopped out the window in front of Anubis and got away with it. How did I end up on Mako? I really have no idea. But Nottingham, last man standing for boxed. Legionnaires uncertain whether or not they'll get a chance to get the revive. Should be able to. It looks like the blue zone won't do quite enough damage, but Juice has to just leg it to get in the zone. He's got re-knocked. Nottingham just has a free flush, but has to be careful of the doorway. He does get it. He can drop the Molotov out the window and claim a free flush. Maybe a second. Even better. Even better. He could do that. Oh, sawn off shotgun. Golden gameplay. Would love to see that. And the only question is, does he know that the teammate is some distance away? I mean, there was shots that came in from here earlier on, but he could have just assumed that's a third party. He's going to be pleasantly surprised either way. That was a filthy play from Nottingham. Legionnaires not happy about how the outcome of that engagement ended up. Jinhart probably not very happy about the situation he's in either. Very rough run that he's going to have to try and make. I think he's just going to try and rat out and kill off Nottingham when he tries to make his exit. That's really the best he can do for his squad and contribution-wise. I mean, he's under a lot of pressure. Tragics has made a move. He's claimed the dip. We have gone more north, directly on top of Hacienda. Really one of the very few options. Jinhart did successfully win the ratty duel on the southern side of the zone. Completely understandable. Running out of options otherwise. Vidge flushes out Jeff. Shuhos unable to prevent it, unable to get the revive. A lot of space for Red Sea on the north and western side of the zone. The first one's a headshot, but the follow-up pretty rough. Bouncy gun with the SLR. Difficult to control. Three-quarter have made it in. Survived under the sandwich between Fragile and Red Sea. See, kind of turning their attention elsewhere. Rapid fire taps. Keeping the fingers warm. But I-179. I've spotted out the solo of Jinhart making a move. MK12 bullets are a little awkward. Jinhart surviving this far to even get into the zone is honestly quite impressive. He was under so much pressure from Ikigai and still manages to make the run through the open, but his journey does not end here. He has one more solo to deal with if he even gets that far. Even then, has to cross the road right in front of the Charm Farmers. He's kind of doomed, as is Tragics, but Tragics has a vehicle that's saving grace, potentially. Red Sea again get to continue with the full zone control on the north and western side. Zone shifting favorably for them. Really solid game from Fragile. 8 points on the board, considering what they had 8 points at the start of this game. Overall, really nicely done. What? Hold on. Nah, this is not legal. No, 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 no. You can't be doing that. Tragics back against the wall is actually having a pretty successful scrap against the Charm Farmers. But there's 4 of them, and only 1 of him. I don't think he knows too much about this either. Oh, he does. He does know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's Guru who's killing him off. Either way, he's dead. Patrick says the grenade go off just behind him. Maybe a little questioning where that came from. I think he did switch over to the AUG and put a few bullets in that direction, though. Now he's looking over towards Ikigai. A potential opportunity. Oh, opportunity taken, but the point stolen away. Painful. But he at least outlasts them. But it's not quite long enough to get himself a placement point. Or is it? Guru? 48 damage with a mini. Does this man not have a vest? Did he neck shot him? Like, what the heck? Almost helping out by throwing smokes towards Tragix. Not sure it'll help him get across the road, though. It's a tough position. Might get the heal off in time, but... Nope. No, he will not. Got too close to the edge of the smoke. Shao Def was trained in that position. Caught him out. Breakwater, good luck. No front tires at all. Moving at a crawl, slow pace, no helmet. Rabs. 1 bullet away from his demise, but they make it to the wall. Right above him. That ghoul comes out and just gets binned again, but it does not matter. Rabs got the better of the opening trade, but there's too many for morning coffee. They might be able to get a revive as well, maybe. Maybe. He has dropped down. It's maybe the threat from Aoki, but he's busy dealing with Hao Hao on the far side, as Hao Hao, the only member of Extraordinaire not currently making the push against the Charm Farmers. Duff has just threw a grenade. He's got 4 more. Now Def's grenade, catching out Invis. As Kid X finishes the job onto Husey. Guru and Maka have to fall back into a more defensible position, holding the ridge, just not working out for them. It sprays out, but it's responded to in kind. Level 3 helmet. Only the only reason he's still standing right now. Don't think making an exit maneuver in the bus is really a viable option. Would still have more grenades as well, I think. If Job can close this distance, he does. He's got 4 more. Get close enough to Maka and just force him to keep his head down long enough. Oh, he's got him on the low ground as well. And oh, Maka almost had the angle to re-peek, but Joff, even lacking a helmet, still gets the better of the spray. And now Guru, he's got 5 grenades as well. Extraordinaire have so many nades. And we said a lot yesterday that APAC doesn't really buy into utility meta, but these guys certainly do. And the sawn-offs, as always. That's an APAC classic. That was in fact pioneered by Teddy from Indonesia. So following in the footsteps of their countrymen. Extraordinaire. Another top 5 appearance for them, as if they needed it. Of course, I mean, fair enough. Stay put for the time being, why not? How again on the move. Always proactive, Extraordinaire. How doesn't have any kills on the board because he's not really been the point man when it comes to making these pushes, but he's still looking for options. Looking for opportunities. And we'll find some third-party angles. Zone has been a little bit unkind, maybe, to morning coffee. They will have to take a step or two outside the main building of Hacienda. But on the western side as well, both Red Sea and Titan Foxy are running out of space to work with as well. Smoke's already going up. Well, Titan Foxy, Zero, and Mr. Wolves have to try and make a move, but just over peaks. Zero couldn't spot any information on where the shots came from in time, and Cheese. A couple of tags with the SLR is all it takes. A little bit of a gap in the smoke exploited. I mean, they can make a move. They've got this deployable shields, maybe pronable behind these ridges for the time being, but all that does is get them closer to Team Extraordinaire, who are using the ridges themselves to make the push. They can see the smokes in the distance. Joff still has 4 nades. Push from Red Sea coming in. Not at all before the push from Extraordinaire looks to clean up. Titan Foxy, another grenade into the smoke, almost securing the final kill. 11 now on the board. Mr. Wolves just lurking, buying time in the smoke. He's been spotted. Shoudef did see him move over to the right, called it out. Joff cleans it up. 12 kills on the board. Okie dokie. They're really not messing around, are they? Aoki trying to reposition, but still do have Morning Coffee in such an irritating position for now. They won't be able to hold on to it for long. But while they're still there, it makes it so much more difficult. Especially the rooftop angle. But spray into the bush. Doesn't quite get the knock. It's taken down by the blue zone. Joff steals away. Macca's AWM puts down Mr. Flank with it. Let's shout Def's nade into the smoke. Red Sea eliminated. How already on the move again. Hatches out Cheese. Completely unaware of the positioning of How. Heard all the shots on the southwestern side of the zone and assumed it was safe to try and make a move to get on the roof, but How was already here, ready and waiting. If you can get his nade through, can't get it quite through the doorway. Never mind, Shoe Horse is activated. You money wow where. Also caught off guard. The Morning Coffee falling apart right at the end, just by the demerit of not knowing whether the sneaky solos are. How couldn't get that final nade in through the doorway. The revive has come on through for Morning Coffee. Of course, just playing in the smokes. How Def 8 kills. How still doesn't have one, but does it really matter? Now he does. 18 on the board. 17 on the board. Make it 18. Back-to-back dubs for Team Extraordinaire. You know, we could talk about domination in a lobby. Barely scratches the surface, does it? 8 kills for Shoudef. 6 for Joff. How playing the off angle consistently throughout the game. Still with 4 men up as well. It's just disgusting scenes from Extraordinaire. This is looking like a really, really dangerous team. 6 slots available for all of APAC. First of all, we have to get through the SEA qualifiers to get to the overall APAC qualifiers. There are 4 teams already invited to the grand finals. Extraordinaire making a solid case that they should have been one of them. And I think it's fair to say that we can all look forward to seeing what they do when they're up against the best that this region has to offer. Heading over to Tego for the third game, the midpoint of day number 2. Let's see whether or not that can transcend across into another map. We'll see you after a quick break.